Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. Today is Wednesday. It's Workshop Wednesday, people. It is Wednesday, June the 16th, 2021. So if y'all would just start come on in the room, we will get this party started. There is so much news to cover today. There is so much news to cover, but we can get it in. So let me know who's in here this morning. Come on in the room, people. Come on in the room. I see you popping up in here. Hello, everybody. Hello, Pastor Alex and Stephanie and Lori and Cherie. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Felicia. Good morning to you as well. Good morning to everyone that's coming in here. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you coming in the room. Good morning, Jeffrey Allen James. Good morning, Adrian Gaddish. Good morning, Patricia Lyles. That's my biological sister. Good morning, Diane Ladybug and Karen. Good morning, Latrice. Good morning, Dr. Kim Carter. Good morning, Gracie. Good morning to all of you. Good morning. Hey, listen, as you're coming in, if you know anyone that is running a business, that has a side hustle, they're an entrepreneur, they're a freelancer, you want to go ahead and invite them into News in Motion today because I'm sure this guest that I will be bringing in here very soon will be able to help them. So just go ahead and hit the share button or contact people individually saying, hey, you want to jump on in here. Good morning, Deborah Sneak. Good morning, Kim Kills. Good morning to all of you. Good morning. Good morning to you. Some of you had asked, y'all said I was so excited when talking about this movie. So some of you asked, can I share the movie again? And the movie is called Greenland. The movie is called Greenland. Good morning, Kenny Stanley. It is amazing. I was sharing with a friend of mine yesterday that is as it's almost as if you're in the movie with them. So you want to watch. It's called Greenland. Greenland. Greenland, not Greenwood, not green space. It's called Greenland. Good morning, Kenya Noel. Good morning to you. We got our person up here at OSU East to get their shot, Kenya. Good morning, Hester. Good morning to you as well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, yes, y'all, the movie is called Greenland. Now, I did not go look to see if it was on Amazon Prime or Netflix, but it's on one of those. But it's called Greenland. Good morning, Pastor Antoinette. Good morning. I know so many of you now are headed back to the office, so you're tuning in and you're not able to chat or communicate, but always come back later and chat if you will, just letting us know what's going on with you. So just excited today. So excited. Y'all, we have a lot of news. So I'm going to do a rapid fire of the news so I can bring the guest in. We tried to cut out some news, but we can't cut it out. So we're going to pack it all in here. We're going to still try to stick with that 35-minute mark. Good morning, Mary Jenkins. Good morning to you. So let me see if anybody else is coming in here so I can give you a shout out again. If you know anybody with a business who is starting a business, a side hustle, an entrepreneur, a freelancer, you want them to say, hey, come on in, check out News in Motion today, because I believe we have something for them. Kenya, you said what? You just sent him a text. Yes, he and his wife are on their way. Great. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning, Yvonne. Good morning to all of you. Y'all listen real quick. Kenya and I, we still work with our contact over at OSU East, Jakithia. And I think she may be on here this morning. And y'all, guess what we found out? And Kenya and I kind of got an attitude yesterday. We have found out. Good morning, Regina. Yep, HBO Max. Thank you, Jeffrey Allen James. So y'all was even wrong. It's HBO Max that y'all can find that movie, Greenland. Greenland. So Kenya and I found out yesterday because Jakithia we were communicating back and forth. And she says, now remember, he needs to take his vaccine card to the city of Columbus and get his $50. I said, $50 for what? She said, now they're offering $50 to get your first shot and $50 to get your second shot. So that's $100 for a shot to get your vaccine. I said, see, y'all done played around with us. You mean to tell me I could have gotten $100 too if I would have just waited? Mm-hmm. I see you, Kimberly. I see you coming in here. So yeah, y'all, you can now get $50 for getting a shot if you live in the state of Ohio. I got a problem with that. Yes, right, Kenya. Kenya said, I want my $50. Forget a donut. That's right. Forget the donut. Give us our cash. That's what Kenya had to say. I was on the phone with Chiquita saying, wait a minute, what? So Kenya, just so a side note, you should know what I said. I was like, well, do the helpers get anything? Do we get any incentive? Do we get anything? Do what, Pastor Antoinette? Give those of us who stepped up early 200. That's what I'm talking. I thought you were saying they're giving 200. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, y'all know my thing. I have said before, and I'll say it again. Those of us who had to pay taxes in 2021, just give you, and we got our shots before the lottery stuff, before the incentives. Just say, you know what, you free and clear. You ain't have to pay nothing. If you already paid, here, let me give you your money back. Just something. Just something. Good morning, Josh. Good morning. All right, y'all. We got a lot of news. So let's go ahead and get this party started. So let's start with our quote today. Bam. The greatest gift is not being afraid to question. So, y'all, that's the greatest gift. And that quote is from Ruby D. So, let me give you a rapid fire of the news headlines. I would encourage you to go check them out for yourself so that you can see more. So, if there's something that interests you, go check it out for yourself. First, Congress could make Juneteenth a national holiday. That's what happened. And they cleared the first hurdle on yesterday. The Senate unanimously passed legislation establishing Juneteenth as a national holiday, celebrating the end of slavery in the United States. After Senator Ron Johnson, remember that name, Republican from Wisconsin, dropped his objection, even though you even had an objection on the floor. We coming for you, Ron Johnson. We are, y'all. And when I say coming for you, so Facebook, don't trip out. I mean, we're coming for you. We're coming for your seat. All right, y'all. If the bill passes in the House, and we know it will, Juneteenth will become the 11th annual federal holiday. Now, however, only federal workers are required by law to get federal holidays off. Now, there's a lot of companies that are already giving people that date off anyway. Now, that's great. I'm excited about this becoming a part of a national holiday. But can y'all pass us some voting rights? Don't give us the crumbs. Give us the whole package. And we're grateful for Juneteenth being recognized. But let's pass some voting rights too, okay? Let's not just stop right there. I'm gonna need you to give us some voting rights in this, right? Yeah, girl, the Senate, Antoinette. Y'all, McConnell says, I don't know what's wrong with this man. He says that he will block a Biden Supreme Court pick. Yep, that's what he said. That's what he said. I want to show y'all this. When we're talking about everything with what's going on, did y'all know that there is a chicken wing shortage? Yeah, girl. Yeah, boy. Yeah, brother. Yeah, sister. Greg Dewell, the co-owner of Duff's Famous Wings in Buffalo, New York, told Fox Business that wing pieces have increased by around 99% recently. They say it's all due to the pandemic. I don't know. People are starting to blame the pandemic, or it's really the pandemic. An ongoing poultry shortage is currently mixing with labor shortage at chicken farms. Just as restaurants are reopening at full capacity in the United States, the cost of fryer oil, which is a necessary ingredient in deep fried wings, is also apparently up 120%. That's happening. That's happening. Y'all, importation of dogs. NPR is reporting that the U.S. is banning the importation of dogs from 100 countries for at least a year after the CDC discovered a sharp increase in the number of falsified rabies vaccination records. That's happening. Y'all, gun violence is breaking out everywhere. Washington Post is reporting 2021 has already been a terrible year for gun violence, and we're not even to July yet. Ceasefire between Israel and Gaza has now crumbled. They're starting to fight again. U.S. intel warns of more violence from QAnon followers. We're not surprised there at all, are we? Yeah, we're not surprised there at all. Yeah, so Biden is tripping, talking about he's going to block a Supreme Court pick. McConnell is tripping, saying he's going to block a Supreme Court pick from Biden, and that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. So, y'all, the gun violence, I want to give y'all a little bit more on gun violence. Y'all, the shooting has come to a relentless pace, as noted in Washington Post. Y'all, we're talking about this past weekend, more than 120 people died in shootings, with 3 especially dangerous incidents in Chicago, Austin, and Savannah, Georgia. Y'all, that's this year. That's this year. So far this year, we have suffered 272 mass shootings, according to Gun Violence Archive. From Friday afternoon to Sunday, CNN is reporting that at least 10 people were killed and another 50 were injured in a 9 mass shooting in 6 states. So this is happening, y'all. The total number of mass shootings is about 40% higher than at this point in 2020, and about 65% higher at this point than 2019. And so they understand that 2020 people were pretty much in isolation, but so they're comparing it to 2019. Josh is saying, I hate to brag, but Texas has never had a wing shortage. Whatever, Josh. Y'all, Josh is my buddy. He has a show as well. Now, Josh will drop the F-bomb. So if you can't handle that, don't listen to his show. But y'all, that's Josh. Go somewhere, Josh. Josh is just bragging, whatever. Anyway, y'all, there's been gray wolves that have been spotted. A litter of gray wool pups have been spotted in Colorado for the first time in around 80 years, according to state wildlife officials. Yeah, that's happening. Y'all, Chrissy Teigen, I don't know. I don't know. He said, but I love y'all. We love you too. We love you too. But listen, y'all, listen, Chrissy Teigen, she is apologizing. Now, BuzzFeed is reporting that Chrissy Teigen has broken her month-long social media silence to apologize to trolling and bullying young women on Twitter in the past. What? Yeah, I don't get some of this, but hey. So yeah, now she's apologizing. She did a post on Medium published on Monday that she wrote, I was a troll, full stop, and I'm so sorry. Okay. So yeah, that happened. All right, we'll take it. Y'all, I'm gonna just pause there. What do y'all think about that? Did we all think about that? I can answer that, Pastor Antoinette. Did we ever figure out what they used for the bird provisional? Yeah, they were doing it on infrastructure. Infrastructure was one. The second one was again the stimulus, and then the stimulus revision. So those were the 3. So we're still waiting. There's one more left, as I shared with you also. We're still waiting on. They can use it for voting rights, so we'll see if they'll do that or not. All right, y'all. An Indian billionaire who beat a world-class chess champion came out yesterday and said he cheated. All right, thanks for telling us that you cheated. So that was just a quick rapid fire of some news. I still have some other crazy news in a moment, but I want to bring on this person who is making waves when it comes to customer service. We've been talking about customer service lately. So again, if you have anybody in business, anybody who's doing anything that they need some workshop on customer service, even helping their employees or whatnot, you want to invite them to tune in. Is one of our own News in Motion family members, Kimberly Graves. She's an entrepreneur with 2 businesses. She is a professional organizer. I didn't even know that about her, with over 15 years experience. And she's recently added virtual assistants to her services at KG Organizing Your Life. I said, girl, you do that? So yep, she does. She's also known as the budget fashionista, a paparazzi accessory consultant. Kimberly has been using her analytical and problem-solving skills in both her business and professional life. She enjoys being the tester and the what-if person for anyone who owns or is starting a business. She is a cheerful giver of her time and her experiences. So y'all, as y'all have questions, make sure you're posting them in the chat so I can bring them on the screen. She will be looking at the screen to be able to answer them. So we'll have about 8 to 10 minutes with Kimberly because I got some more news to tell y'all. But let's tune in to her. Welcome, Kimberly.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm nervous, but I'm good.
Oh, girl, please. Y'all, she's in Nashville, Tennessee. But she is going to come on. You don't have no right to be nervous. I see you on live all the time. So I want to start with the question. I want us to dive in.
Mhm.
So we're talking about customer service. And I want you to say, what is one of the main things that we miss as business owners when it comes to customer service?
Good
Excuse me.
communication.
Communication.
Communication is huge. You have to communicate with your customers, period.
You have to communicate. Give me more of that. Give me more about that.
So, so it could be something as simple as if you're offering a service and you're not going to be able to deliver your service on time, you need to make sure you're communicating that with your customers and not telling them that at the last minute. You have something that you are selling, some products, your products didn't come in on time. You need to make sure you are letting your customers know, look, I know I said I was going to have this, it's not in yet. You have to communicate with your customers and keep them in the loop.
But let's say, do you think that sometimes fear come into play where they're afraid to tell their client,
Mhm.
I'm not going to fulfill that?
It
So that, and then if somebody is dealing with fear, how do they work through that?
you just have to do it because you're talking about your brand, and a lot of times if your customer is not happy, they're disappointed, you fell short, word of mouth, it gets out there. And you know, word of mouth is the best way to advertise, so you have to overcome that fear. I'm sorry, I know I said X, Y, and Z, but this is what's happening. Your customers will be disappointed, some of them, but they are also going to appreciate the fact that you didn't wait until the last minute to drop a bomb on them too.
I like that. Well, I'm gonna let you take over the screen and give us the pointers that you have for us. Again, y'all, if y'all have anyone in business, entrepreneurship, freelancers, they want to tune into this because I believe they're going to walk away from Wednesday workshop with a lot of content to use and to implement. So take it away.
All righty. So, what I did was I took a look at big complaints that you're going to see if you are an entrepreneur or a small business owner in regards to you don't have a storefront and you don't have like a big, huge call center. So, a couple of those complaints are response time, meaning how long is it taking you to respond to their voicemails, their text messages? Are they sending you messages on your website or through social media? Another one is being unprofessional. Okay. We have to step up our game. We have to be professional in all areas of our business. And thirdly, the third complaint is being unsure of your product and services. And while that may sound crazy because it's your service and it is your product, there are some people out there who can't answer questions, and you have to be able to answer questions when your customers are asking you, how does this work? What is this going to look like? You have to be able to answer that. So, what do you need to do to have better customer service? You have to be friendly. They have to feel like they can come and talk to you. You have to be able to respond to them promptly. And I say promptly is usually within 24 to 48 hours. You have to be able to respond. Listen to your customers. A lot of times they think they know what they want and they don't know what they want for real, especially if it's a service that you provide. When I organize, people say, yeah, I want this room to look like this. Yeah, I want it to do this. And then you get in there and you start working and you're like, that's not really what you want, because what you're showing and what you're talking about isn't adding up to what we started, what our original plan was. So you have to be able to listen to your customers. And again, know your products, know your services. Don't be afraid to say thank you. I hate going to the store and I hand somebody some money and they don't say thank you. Well, thank you, and you have a nice day too. That's very huge. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Build relationships. Get to know your customers. That is another reason why your customers will continue to come back and they will send people to you because you have built a relationship with them. Also, ask for feedback. Whether you talk to them and find out exactly how they liked your product or your services, you send them a customer satisfaction survey, or it could be something as simple as, hey, you know, could you go on my Facebook page and leave a comment about your experience with me? Because again, that's going to help you understand better where your shortcomings may be, and it'll also help you build more customers as well, especially, you know, when it's a great review that they put on your social media. Keep your promises. Again, if you told them you were going to do X, Y, and Z, you don't give them A, B, and C. You need to give them X, Y, and Z. And you need to deliver when you said you were going to deliver. Okay. And follow up. Follow up. They love it when you follow up with them. Everything working out okay for you? Is there anything else I can do for you? Please don't hesitate to reach out to me again if there's something else I can do for you. They absolutely love that. So, in addition to that, it's very important that you are patient because, again, a lot of times, especially when you have a service that you're offering, a lot of times our customers, they just don't know what they want. They go from A to B to Z. So it's our responsibility as entrepreneurs and small business owners to help our customers realize what they are really looking for. And please stay in your lane. Please stay in your lane. I learned early on, don't color outside the lines. I had a customer, I was helping her organize a room in her home and she wanted me to hang a shelf. Okay, so I think I'm pretty good with tools and whatnot. I ain't never hung no shelf, but I told her I could hang a shelf until I put a hole in her wall. And I was like, oh, okay, I need to stay in my lane because I am an organizer. I'm not a shelf hanger. Okay. And we still were able to continue doing business together. I explained to her, I said, yeah, I thought it was something I can do, but now I know that I don't have any business hanging shelves. So I'm going to stay in my lane and continue to organize your closets and your kitchens and things like that. So, as a bonus, I'm about done here. As a bonus, some people don't realize that good customer service also includes having a contract, especially if you offer services. You always need to have a contract, okay? As a virtual assistant, I have worked with two of my really good friends, and yes, you are going to have a contract, okay? It's absolutely necessary that we have a contract. Lastly, the customer is always right. I've always hated people saying the customer is always right because sometimes the customer is not always right. But again, it is our responsibility to make sure that we leave a good impression and we have a happy customer. Now, you're going to have customers out there, you're just never going to make them happy. However, you have to do your best to make sure that your customer is happy because, again, word of mouth is how we do a lot of our advertising through word of mouth. And I see there's a lot of stuff popping up here on the screen, and I honestly cannot read it.
A lot of people are saying hello to you. Good morning. People are saying yes to contracts, protect everyone,
Mhm.
stay in your lane. A lot of people like that. Karen says, I ordered and paid for t-shirt from a friend of mine 2 months ago and still haven't received it after many promises that it's in the mail. What's the best recourse without blasting them on Facebook? Don't blast them on Facebook, but go
Don't
ahead.
blast them. Don't blast them on Facebook. And unfortunately, you have to. Depending on how much money you spent and how far you want to go with it. I mean, you could threaten to take her to small claims court, but honestly, I would cut her off and I'm done. It's a wrap. It's you'll have to take an L for that one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Lori Wallace says, say that contracts are key. It maps everything,
Hmm.
put so you're on the same page and better results. Kim Keel says that's so true. Kenya Noel says, Kimberly, when as a business do you say that you are at fault or they're not satisfied and suggest a refund or another option?
That's a case by case. That is a case by case, and honestly, it depends on what you did that you are at fault, and was this something that you guys discussed? Was it something like, yes, we decided we were going to do this, but we both agreed we would do that, and that didn't work out? It's still a conversation that you have to have with your customers so that you two can come to an agreement. We always have to be the bigger person. We always have to be the bigger person. We have to be able to apologize, and sometimes we have to be able to eat a loss.
Okay. Judy Neal says, great information. Thanks for the tips. I have a question for you. How, to what point as the business owner do you say enough, especially excuse me, especially if you do have a contract and you are trying to work with the person and they keep making changes and they've already gone over their three changes that maybe you have written in the contract. At what point do you say enough, this is over?
When they've broken the contract. I mean, you have to be very specific and detailed in your contract. That's the whole purpose of having it. And you have to have a clause in there that says, hey, at some point, if we feel like it's not these words, of course, but at some point, if we feel like it's not going in the right direction, or I'm going to give you a 15-day, 30-day notice of cancellation, you have to have some type of language in your contract because one, I enjoy being an entrepreneur. I enjoy getting paid, but I like to maintain my sanity as well. And if you are driving me crazy, is it worth it for real? I mean, really, is it worth it? I don't think so. I'm sorry. Maybe you should take this someplace else because it's not working for me. It really isn't, and it's unfortunate. But I've had to do that before. I'm sorry. I don't think this relationship is working.
Wow. I hear you. Mary Jenkins says a friend who has a funeral services specialist has given horrible customer service to the point where the state attorney general's office sought me out to explain what happened. My father has been deceased for 9 months, still no death certificate. Wow. Sorry to hear about that, Mary.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are people out there in business who, think because they have an LLC or they have some business cards that they're, entrepreneurs, and they're not.
What kind of research? This is my last question for you, not unless anybody out here has another one. What type of research can we conduct before signing on the dotted line?
Look at it depends on what you're doing too. I mean, you have to look at other companies and see what they're doing. You can also ask friends, have you ever, signed a contract with somebody who does X, Y, and Z? Do you have any feedback? A lot of times just talking to other people and finding out what their experiences are. When it comes time to looking at a budget and how much you actually want to spend, you'll definitely want to research other businesses who are doing the same thing and see if you can get an idea of if they're charging you, a fair price.
Wow. Okay. Well, oh no, I do have another question. I lied. When do you offer a refund to a customer? I know it's probably situational, but
it is. And and again, it depends on the relationship you have with that customer. Is this a customer who's been giving you the blues? You just go ahead and give them that money and just be like, okay, boom, we're done. If it's somebody that is going to keep coming back to you, you may want to discount their services the next time. I wouldn't necessarily say give them a full refund. And sometimes you just sit back and see if they're going to ask for one because they may be okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that should also be something that's in the contract to begin with as well, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, okay. That contract will save your life. That contract will save your life. And there's nothing wrong with revising your contract. Some people use a standard contract. There's nothing with revising your contract. Every time you have a uncomfortable experience with someone, there's nothing wrong with you going back and looking at your contract and saying, I think we might need to tweak this a little bit because this is how it worked out over there.
Wow, this has been great, Kimberly. Thank you so much. If any of you have friends on another time zone and you think they need to hear this, please pass this over to them. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's good to have our own members on here. So thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a wonderful hump day.
You too, girl. All right, y'all. That was some great information. Great information. Please be sure that you're sharing that with other people. That information is amazing. All right, y'all. The coronavirus recovery numbers, there's 28,578,701. Again, the coronavirus recovery numbers, 28,578,701. All right, y'all, the number of lives lost as recorded by Johns Hopkins University is greater than the population of Baltimore or Milwaukee. It's greater than the population of Baltimore or Milwaukee right here in the United States of America. It is about equal to the number of Americans. I want y'all to hear this. Now, we're over 600,000. Now, there's a couple of different numbers out there. I've seen 610,000. I've seen 617,000. I've seen 609,000. So we know it's over 600,000. And they're saying it's about equal to the number of Americans who died of cancer in 2019. So although we're all focused on the coronavirus, as we should be, we should also be just as focused on the number of deaths when it comes to cancer and other diseases and so forth. So y'all, we need to start opening our minds to see what else is happening. You know, we had Cassandra Tauber on here once before talking about sickle cell anemia. We have to look beyond just what we're seeing right now. And this death toll in the coronavirus 19 is huge, but it also allows us to pause and think about where else are deaths occurring and what can we do when it comes to that. Along with that, the rolling average of new cases in the country has dropped around 13,500 per day, while 61.5% of Americans over the age of 12 and 87% of seniors have received at least one vaccine dose. Now, y'all, I want to talk about Vermont real quick. Vermont has lifted its remaining pandemic restrictions weeks ahead of schedule after blasting past a vaccination goal of 80% of their eligible population. Vermont is the first state to hit 80% and is considerably ahead of the nation's vaccination rate of 61%. How did they do that? They say there's a lot of progressives that live in that area and they're open to that. Good morning, Kim Edmondson. I see you coming up in here. Good morning, Shirley. So y'all, polls are showing Vermont held relatively more trust in the state health authorities than any other state as well. Y'all, the governors of New York and California who were hit the hardest, they have now lifted their COVID restrictions for businesses and social gatherings. Now, across the country, mask mandates have eased, restrictions have lifted, and most states have gone back to business as usual. It appears that the entire country will be fully open with a very few restrictions by the 4th of July, but it looks like the Biden administration will fall short of its 70% of Americans being at least partially vaccinated by July 4th. But this is still the month of action. And one thing that we're doing right here with News in Motion is that we're asking our Black and brown people, especially African-American people, that if you have not received your vaccination and you are considering it, to speak with your physician and possibly do it on or before Juneteenth. Along with Juneteenth, we're asking people to find and participate in some sort of give back, volunteerism. And you can do that social distancing. You could do that wearing your mask, or you can do that from the comfort of your home. Y'all, a lot of more is happening. There's another airplane fight. It was a brutal fight on an airplane. Two women were going at it. It took 3 guys to pull them apart. It was all around a mask. I see you, Kenny Stanley. Kenny Stanley is saying, get vaccinated. Kenny Stanley is saying, get vaccinated. Mary is saying that many cancer patients are being told to hold off chemotherapy due to COVID. And then Kim Edmondson was putting up there that 80%. So y'all, we got to just really decide, well, what are we going to do? How we're going to do it. Kim says her youngest son got his 2nd shot on Friday. Great. Y'all, a cashier is killed after a mass dispute in Georgia's supermarket. A cashier was shot to death and 3 others were wounded following a dispute over face masks at a supermarket in Decatur, a suburb east of Atlanta. A 30-year-old man allegedly argued with the cashier about his face mask and left the store without making a purchase. Then he immediately returned and shot the woman and killed her. Y'all, for the win today, I think this is the cutest thing. And Latrice Jones, I hope you're still on here. Y'all, this is Jonah and Ian. Jonah took the day off from his summer job, these are brothers, to escort Ian to the prom while the school may be slow to find places for families like them. Well, let me tell you about Ian. Ian has autism. He has autism and he could not find a date to his senior prom. So, y'all, the afternoon before the big day, the brothers picked up their matching charcoal gray suits and a scarlet bow tie. And I'm reading this directly from HuffPost. Scarlet bow ties from the local tuxedo rental shop. Jonah styled Ian's hair and put all the gel and stuff in his hair. They attached his cufflinks and they took this picture. This is the mom that took the picture here. So during the evening, Jonah was texting his mother, giving updates and how Ian began to blend in on the dance floor, and many of the classmates started having conversation with him and started dancing with him. But in the beginning, he did not have anyone to take him to the prom. So for the win, Jonah for the win, for stepping up and taking his brother to the senior prom so that he could be a part of that. Y'all, this entire story was very emotional because they just talked about the difficulties and how hard it is and how girls would turn him down and how they would laugh at him and so forth and so on. So I'm just glad that Jonah stepped it up. So y'all, for our inspirational message for today, step up. Step up. Step up and help someone out. We have no idea what may be going on in the lives of other people. So step up. The fact Jonah could have been like, nah, dude, I'm not doing it. But he said immediately, yes, 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 he would take his brother to the prom. And he was able to see people saw him dressed up and in that charcoal gray suit and saw him laughing and having fun and dancing, that other people began to surround him and started dancing with him. It just took someone like his brother to step up. So I'm asking all of us to step up. Step up, encourage someone today. Encourage them. Again, y'all know I'm big on cards. Send a card in the mail. Let people know that you're thinking about them. Just step up. Just step up. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us today. Y'all know what I say. Stay well. And remember, people, make some moves.